Good girl. Good job, sweetie. Sit. Good girl. Stay. Good girl. Good stay. Okay. Good job, girl. Yeah. Good girl. Sit. Down. Good girl. Stay. Good stay. Good girl. Good stay. Good girl. Okay. Good girl. Good job, baby. Yeah. Good girl. Kelly. Sit. Look. Okay. Good girl. Sit. Look. Okay. Good girl. Good job, baby. Good. Heel. Good girl. Good heel. Okay, good job. Good girl, baby. Good girl, Kelly. Yeah, good girl. No jumping. Good girl. No jumping. Leave it. Good girl. Sit. Stay. Good girl. Stay. Good stay. Okay, good girl. Very nice. Good girl. Kelly, sit. Down. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Okay. Good job. Good girl. Good girl, Kelly. Good girl. Ready? Heel. Good girl. Heel. Good girl. Good heel. Good girl. Good heel. Good heel. Good girl. Sit. Okay. Good girl. Well done, baby. Good. Good girl. Good girl. No jumping. Hello.
Hello.
Good girl, Callie. Good girl. Good girl.
Very
Good
huge.
job.
She's very nice.
Good. Okay.
I like
Pet her.
this.
Good
Hello,
girl. Bend
Kelly.
over. Pet her. Good
Hello,
girl.
Kelly.
Good girl. No jumping.
Girl. Oh,
Good girl. No
pretty
jumping.
girl. Oh, she's gorgeous. Beautiful. Hi. Yeah, see, we found the leaf. Hi, Kelly. Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Oh, we got favorites.
Good girl, no jumping. Hi, Kelly. Good girl, no jumping. Good girl, no jumping. Good girl.
Oh, beautiful.
Good night. Good night.
Hi, Kelly. Hi, girl.
Girl, no
Girl.
jumping. Girl, no jumping.
Beautiful.
Next time.
All right.
Let's go. Good girl.
Welcome to the Obedience Command video. This video is going to describe and give you visual depictions of the obedience commands that we use when we're working with our dogs. The one thing that's really important for you to keep in mind is that our dog's first language is body language. They actually communicate through their body language. We communicate verbally. So when we're doing obedience and working with our dogs, it's us that says the verbal command, but when we want our dogs to actually respond, we want to speak their language as well, which is a visual signal for that command or body language. So with each command that we're going to run through, I'm going to show you the visual depiction of what the body language is for the dog as we're saying the command. So the first command that people normally teach their dog is sit. When we're doing this command, the body language for sit is to have your palm facing the ceiling. We're going to start at the hip and we're going to raise it up to our chest as we say the command. So when we're looking at our dog, we look at the dog, make eye contact, and we say sit as our hand comes up. It's that simple. The next command is down, and that's really just pointing to the ground as we say the command. So with one finger, we're going to point to the ground and say the command at the same time as we're looking at the dog and making eye contact with the dog. Down. The next command that owners usually want to teach their dog is stay, and this is a very easy command visually as well. It's just showing the dog the palm of your hand. So you tell them stay, and the hand comes from your body out towards the dog just a little bit. Be careful you don't actually get too close to the dog and whack them. I see people doing that all the time. You don't have to lunge in at them or anything like that. Just tell them stay and show them the palm of your hand. When people want their dogs off the counters or off the furniture, the command that we're going to use for that is off, and usually we just kind of sweep our hand across. So we'll point at the dog and tell them off and point back to the ground. Those are the basic commands that we teach. The last thing that we want you to know, though, is the command that we use primarily the most, which is the focus command. For us, we use the command look, and we want the dog to actually make eye contact with us. This is a command that very few people teach, and it's one of the most important commands that we have. So when we look at the dog, we're going to take our finger and we're going to just point right up to our eyes. Look, and it tells the dog, I want your eyes. You notice when I'm talking about the commands, I always say get the dog's attention first. We're not using their name to get their attention. I'm going to talk about the use of their name in a second. But them paying attention to us and looking at us is just like when we're having a conversation with someone else. If their eyes are looking off into the distance while we're talking to them, we know they're not paying attention. So for our dogs, it is their responsibility to pay attention to us when we're working, and we teach them that throughout the training program. So the first command that we want to teach rather than sit, we actually want to teach the look command, and we also want to teach them when in our training program, that first command is actually their name. Most people have dogs that really ignore their name, so the kids and the family say their name all the time. We don't do that. We actually reserve the dog's name for something very, very important, and that means come to me and pay attention to me. And the easiest way to do that is when they're puppies or when we first get the dog, we take a treat and we actually call their name, and we offer them a treat every single time they come to us. And so what they learn is that they hear their name, and coming to me gets them something good. So the first two things that we teach our dogs is to have a treat for their name, so they come to us for their name, and the look command. And then we go into all the other obedience in the manner that most other people teach them, which is sit, down, and then stay. Okay, so we're going to get one of the dogs out now, and I'm going to demonstrate how the dogs actually follow these cues for each of these commands. So now we're going to show you the commands that we just saw. We're going to actually have a dog responding to those commands. And the dog that we're using today is Camille, my 3-year-old Rottweiler. We're going to show each of the commands, sit, down, stay, and we're going to do the look. And you're going to see when I'm working with her that eye contact that I was talking about, which is really critical. We spend a lot of time teaching our dogs to pay attention to us, that something good happens when they're working for us. So pay attention to that throughout the commands. And the last thing that we're going to be adding in is something called a release. And the release is when we tell the dog that the exercise is finished, that's their cue that they can get up. So for our working dogs, we use okay or we use break. With Camille, her word is okay. And that means that when I ask her to sit or I ask her to down, she knows she has to stay in that command until I either give her another command or I say okay, signifying that it's the end of the exercise and she can get up and she's free to do what she wants, as long as she's still well behaved. So now we're going to start and look at each of those commands. Hi, baby girl. So if you just look at her, she's actually looking at me waiting for what we're going to do because she knows that we're moving. Good girl. So I'm just going to give her some praise because I like this kind of focus. Okay, good girl. So she knows that she can get up because she's on the release. Sweetie, come here. Sit. Good girl. Down. Stay. And I'm going to show you those again. I'm going to call her name. So her name, she should get up and come to me. Camille. Good girl. Sit. Down. Stay. Good girl. And now I'm going to move her around so that you can see it from her looking a little bit towards the camera. Come here. Camille. Sit. Down. Stay. Good girl. You can see that eye contact that we have. And now I'm going to give her a release so she knows she can get up. Okay. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. And now I'm going to have my son Ryan, who's 10 years old. He actually works with Camille. He's going to come in and he's going to do the same obedience. And all we want you to know is that once the dogs actually know the commands, Camille, down, stay. That once the dogs actually know the commands, it's really easy to have them perform those commands for anybody else. So when you see a Rottweiler that's 3 years old working for a 10-year-old boy, it should give you a really good indication of how important the control from the obedience is, how much that obedience actually gives you. And when you watch her body language, she enjoys working with me. She enjoys actually doing the exercises and the work. So that's something that she gets out of it. We have a really good relationship. So we do want you to understand that the obedience that we ask of her gives her a reward as well when she's working.
Camille, sit. Down. Stay. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Good girl. Yeah. Sit. Down. Stay. Good girl. Okay. Good girl.